friends, welcome to Auntie Nell's Kitchen. Today's recipe, and I hope everyone is doing well. Let's get a little housekeeping out the way first. Thank you for all of your support, and thank you to my new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be preparing Japanese teriyaki salmon. Yes, there are different versions of teriyaki salmon. Today we're doing Japanese. Teriyaki means to be glossy and shiny. Yes. So today we're going to get started. Give Auntie a moment and we'll get started. All right? One moment, please. Okay, the start of the show. This recipe is a serving for two. You're going to need two. This recipe you can use two to 4 pieces of salmon. I'm using 2 because I like a really thick base gloss. Your salmon, I like center cut. This is skinless. I like skinless salmon, but if you want to, you can use the skin with the skin on. I'm using skinless, so we're going to get that. That's the start of the show. Now, to your teriyaki sauce, you're going to need 2 sauce pots. Now, the 2 sauce pots is totally up to you, and I'll get to that in a moment, okay? Why I'm using 2. But the 2 sauce pots will be totally optional, and we'll go over that in a minute. Okay, you're going to need one. We're not doing the Chinese version of teriyaki. We're doing Japanese. You know, teriyaki derives from Japan. We're going to use 1/2 cup of Japanese soy sauce. Now, if you don't have Japanese soy sauce, you can use a really good premium soy sauce is best. You can buy your standard Japanese standard soy sauce. That is fine. That is okay. But since we're doing the Japanese soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, I'm using the Japanese soy sauce. This is $12 a bottle. You're going to need 1/2 cup of that. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here. 1/2 cup of Japanese soy sauce. 1/2 cup of mirin. Mirin is a sweet cooking seasoning. Now you can add 1/2 cup of sake. Sake is the cooking wine, Japanese cooking wine. And believe it or not, I don't have any sake, but that is okay. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of white sugar. You're going to put that in there. 1 teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of minced ginger. Or you can use slices of ginger if you want to, and slices of garlic. It's totally up to you. But if you use slices of ginger and slices of garlic, you're definitely going to need 2 sauce pots. 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm using coarse black pepper because I want a more robust peppery flavor. You're going to need 1/2 cup of water. Now later on as your thickener, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to 3 tablespoons of water, but that's much later. Now you're going to use a whisk, and you're going to whisk this together. And we're going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to move my cutting board out the way and get my fire going. And I'm going to bring this to a boil. I want to make sure that sugar gets dissolved. And I'm going to tell you something else I like to do. This is just something that I do because I'm a big fan of it. You can, this is something that's totally optional for you. This is just something that I like to do. Because I'm a huge fan of sweet soy sauce. I love sweet soy sauce. I always have to add a little dash of sweet soy sauce to anything I make requiring soy sauce. It's just something that's just my personal preference. But dealing with that sweet soy sauce, you always got to make sure you clean that bottle off. I love sweet soy sauce. And I just find that when you use a really good soy sauce, like a premium soy sauce, your dishes do come out much better than buying the cheaper brand. But like I said, I can't run nobody's pocketbook but mine, honey. You do what you need to do. And you know what? You cooking for you and your family. You know your budget. And since if you don't cook this all the time, and you just, if you're a big fan of Asian food, they like Asian food. But I'm the fish person in this house. And now you can add a teaspoon of oyster sauce. I did not, because salmon is already fishy enough for me, so I did not add any oyster sauce. And like I said, this is my favorite brand of you see my preview. I love Lecom Key sauces. I love those sauces. That's my favorite brand. And so I'm going to bring this to a boil, and I'll be right back. Okay, as you see, it's boiling. It's where it's come to that boil. And the reason why I'm bringing this to the boil, because I need that sugar dissolved, and I need that garlic and that ginger and those other spices to just really infuse everything together. And I'm bringing it, turning it down to a slow simmer. I just really need that garlic and ginger to infuse into the liquids. You want everything really good. You can't rush good cooking now. It takes some little time. You can't rush it. So this, all I'm doing is making sure everything is infused together. And you'll know when those aromas start hitting that nose, you'll know. You will know. Take it from Auntie. Auntie knows. Auntie knows. Auntie knows. So so you see that sugar has dissolved. I think you can tell by listening to the bottom of your pan. You can listen to the bottom of your pan. You don't hear any scraping. So what I'm going to do, the reason why I said you need 2 pots. The reason why, because what I'm going to do is that I'm going to strain this. I'm going to strain this because I don't want to bite down. I just want the flavor of the ginger and the garlic. I don't want the pieces. That's up to you. If you want the pieces, you can keep it. But I don't. I don't want the pieces. Come bring that to a boil. Now I'm going to prepare my cornstarch. I'm going to add my tablespoons of water. Now you use cold water. I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of water. Or did I say 3? I'll see when I get there. I think I said 3. Okay, I put in 3 tablespoons of water to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Bring this back to a boil. Let this bring this back up to a boil, because this is a fresh cold pot and look like it's already coming to that boil. Get this cornstarch mixed. Turn this down some while I get this cornstarch mixed up really, really good. The key to making sure your cornstarch, make sure it's mixed up really, really good. You got to scrape, because cornstarch also settles in the bottom, because you need this glaze thick. Make sure that's all mixed up nice and good. You know, a lot of Asian cooking, when you're doing them with fries, they mix cornstarch flour. They call it corn flour. Cornstarch into their flour to fry food. It gives it a different fry texture. It's really, really good. I'll do that later on. But right now, we're going to focus on this teriyaki salmon. Okay, I'm going to add this in here. Throw that over there for a little housekeeping. Okay, what I'm going to do, because I want a little bit of my color back. So remember I talked about one time, this thick soy sauce is basically for color, not for flavor. Color. That's it. It's only for color. Okay, this stuff is potent. That's all I wanted for color. I'm going to bring this to a boil and let this thicken. Okay? I'm going to let this boil and come so it thicken. Okay? This glaze, look at that. You see that? Boiling, that thickness. Now to test the thickness of your glaze, to know your glaze is thickened, when you spoon it, if it's sticking to the back, this is a silicone spoon, it's sticking to the back of your spoon. And if you don't have a silicone spoon, you can use your metal spoon, stainless steel, metal, whatever y'all want to call it. Let me get one for you. Be sticking to the back of your spoon. That's good. That's good. You following Auntie's instructions. Sticking to the back of the spoon. That's good. Okay. Gonna put this over here because as this sauce cools, it's gonna thicken even more. Now we're gonna move on to our salmon. So let me get that set up and so we can move on. So okay. Okay, we're back. I got just a little olive oil in the pan. I like to sear my tuna. I mean, not my tuna, my salmon. I like to sear my salmon. The reason why I'm searing is because I want my salmon to have a good, like a little crust on the top. And the reason why your salmon is dry, I tell you to make sure it's dry because you're going to drizzle some oil on both sides and get a little oil. And olive oil doesn't do well with high heat. So we're going to place this in here. I'm going to do this side first because that's the side that's going to have the most sear. Just throw these little end pieces in here to make this looky. I trimmed them off. Okay, we're going to let those sear on one side, then we'll flip them. So, I'll be right back. See, to me, these are my perfect sears. I don't want them dark because I'm not searing chicken or steak or lamb or beef, steaks or whatever, steaks or beef. I'm searing salmon. So, you sear too hard, too dark, you're going to completely cook it. And it's going to be basting in that sauce. So I'm going to turn it on its side. I'm going to get some sear on the side, not long. do a little thinner. You don't necessarily have to do that. That's just something I want to do. But it does help you. Ooh, I touched that pan with that fingertip. If I can't get it, I'm moving on. Okay, that's what that dark backside is. I sprayed my pan with a little Pam, keep it sticking. These are for Dusty. These little end pieces I get for Dusty. So that's for the that's for my Dusty Westy. So give me a moment, so I can go to the next step. Okay, all right. Now, you know you want some of that good glaze on the bottom, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my pieces over and get some of this good glaze on the bottom. And now I should have got my spoon before I got to talking. Got my little baby ladle, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to spoon some of this on the bottom and lay that fillet right on top. Right on top of there. Same on this side. Nothing changing. Now I'm going to bake this uncovered. But for the first 10 minutes I'm going to cover it. Because I needed to bake in all this goodness. Now remember I said, yeah, for the first 10 minutes I'm going to bake it. Oh, I see if I missed a spot. I want goodness all over. I'm going to just put this in the oven. I'm putting the oven uncovered so I can get that crust. I want a full crust. So I'm going to do that way. So hold on guys, let me get this in the oven. I'm doing my countertop convection, not using the big oven because it's just going to heat up the house. And mother, and the air is feeling really good right now. So give auntie a moment. Let me get this in the oven. We'll be right back, and I'm going to be coming back to you and showing what it looks like in between. And so this is going to take about 20 minutes. So because it's already been seared, so some of that outside has already been cooked. So salmon it's not a long dish, but you do want to make sure your salmon is thoroughly cooked now. You don't want no raw salmon. You don't want to make nobody sick, and you don't want to make yourself sick. So be right back. Alright, my friends. Okay, I got this going on now, so I just rebasted it. And I'm going to put it in and put it on broil so I can get this a nice sort of a crispy type coating, and then we shall be complete. Alright guys, this is my third base, and I'm telling you where I'm getting the top base from. Let me show you how I'm getting that top base. That's why it's so thick. And what I'm doing, this is the last of the base, and I'm going to top that off as the serving. I'm taking some of this glaze, and I'm pouring it in the pan, and I'm allowing it to caramelize in the pan. And then once it's caramelized to a real syrupy type, consistency, then I use it to top it on top of the here. And right now I'm getting ready to give it its last, and see us get those, got that up between there. I'm getting ready to give it its last top caramelization. That last top caramelization on broil. It's going on broil now. Because, you know, I love my top crust, my top base to be really, really thick. Because it has all, that's where all that flavor is going to be. All that goodness on top of here. All that thick goodness. And that will be my final top base. And I'm going to put this in on broil. And I'm going to broil this about 5 minutes on high. Watch it. Gotta watch it, guys. If you put it on high, you gotta watch it. And I'll be right back. And this will be our finished product. Now how do I stop this? To end this one.